Okay.
I'm thinking we start the podcast with a freestyle. What do y'all think?
Yikes. You gotta keep it going, man.
Y'all salty ass fuck. I'm about to call the cops. This man is silent. Just drop.
Dude, I'm trying to pop a squat.
Oh, man. This nigga Manuel has to write his shit down.
Alright, let's go one more.
I don't like the word bot.
Alright. How about this? How about we pick a word to start with, and we all.
Let's do words that end with shin.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Is that good?
No shit.
Words that end with in, not shin.
It doesn't matter.
No shin, as in like shin or like thing.
Yeah, no,
like,
I get you. Oh, that sound. Yeah.
Yeah, that sound.
No shave November. Gotta shave the beard. Gonna pull up on stream. I was gonna say looking like a queer.
Looking like
that's
a-
not shit.
Close.
Hey, the beat go off? Hey, I'm up at them, my heat go off. Bang. I heard he do that sneaky dog. I heard he was a sneaky dog.
Welcome back to day 2. Podcast number 2, baby. First one.
Here?
I still need to upload it, but you know what it is. It's your boy Hookman. Go with the flow. We back at it again with the squad. Introduce yourself.
What's up? My name is Oscar. I'm a cousin of Ruben's. Just chilling over here, trying to make some last minute shopping for the trip to DR.
Nice.
What up, guys? It's Flex. Was here last week.
Flex Nation.
Look all the haters.
First thing on the list to talk about. So I only got one category that I really want to talk about today, and then the rest is kind of gonna be like kind of improv. We're gonna bring it up. I know a couple people in this chat right now. They're itching to talk about a little some. So you know, I'm gonna let them. But the first thing I want to talk about, I don't know if I should talk about it first or last. I'm actually gonna save it for last. I'm gonna save it for last because it's kind of a broader topic, and it's gonna encompass the things we're basically gonna talk about today. So, Emmanuel, I know you want to talk about something. I think it was league related.
So I have two things that I want to talk about.
All right.
The first one is league related, but I think the first one that I want to talk about is what are your I don't know if you guys have seen any gameplay for it, but what are your thoughts of Fallout 76?
Ooh, that's a good one. Fuck with that one. All right.
So whoever wants to start, I'll follow up. I'll give my opinion after.
So I ain't gonna flex. I haven't seen much gameplay of Fallout 76, but I have. Let me pop up. Where's the? It has a subreddit, right? Or is it just our gaming? So I haven't seen gameplay about it, but I've been talking to a couple friends about it who've been seeing a lot of gameplay, and I did read up on a couple posts that were made on Reddit. So at first, I know for the beta when it came out, they were struggling on the block, yo. Nobody could launch the game. The beta was hella what was it, like less than 24 hours? The beta?
No, the beta lasted for 3 weeks, but it was there was like the beta where you could only play because of the pre-order, and then they released a beta that everyone can play later down the line.
That's what it was.
I feel like they ended up doing the beta that everyone can play because the game was just in such a bad spot that they needed more people to actually test the game.
Yeah, there was like a huge post about how empty the game felt. I remember in the beginning when the beta first started.
Yeah, it's like
because it was only the pre-orders, right?
Yeah. Like a lot of people thought that it was just like, you know, there's not enough people playing the game. So eventually, I'm imagining that they thought maybe if we bring more people in, they could try to bring more people in, and they would like level up the game, kind of in a sense. You know, more people playing, more things to adventure together.
Yeah.
But my opinion is like, there's a lot of people basically saying it's like it feels like an early access game. that costs $60 and also has microtransactions. And it's like, yeah, it basically is that, because you play this game and you when you think of Fallout, it's like, okay, I'm here for the story. I'm here to like look for everything that this game has to offer. There's nothing there. There's I think the biggest bullshit that they did was like, oh yeah, so we have no actual characters in the game. There's just robots and letters that give you missions. What in the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't that basically removes the whole premise of Fallout. Like, if there's no characters for you to like enjoy the actual story, what is there? Is it like, oh, I'm gonna go kill NPCs? Great. Oh, I'm gonna go kill some online players. That's not what Fallout is. That's basically like some glorified PUBG with less people.
Yeah, no, I feel you. So I know that was the big scare. That was the big scare. So it's like only online. Everything's online. Like friends. Manny makes a good point. It's all about the friends. So you like kind of have to have a squad to really enjoy the game. You like build. I don't know how complex the building was. I didn't play the beta, or like I said earlier, I didn't see any gameplay.
I have something for that too.
But I heard it wasn't that in depth. So Reddit was trashing it, right? But the other day, actually, was it this morning or yesterday in the morning? I read this post about a guy who was like, honestly, I know Fallout has been getting mad hate, but I enjoy it more than Fallout 4.
Was it a video or
no? It was
or just a post?
Text post, and then he had like a huge list of things of why he enjoyed it more. He did bring up the whole empty factor, but he said that can be solved when the game's finally released and there's more people playing it. I think
You won't pull that up.
It was a very yeah. I saw that on my phone.
Careful what you open up.
I just think that they like overall, like I understand what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to create a game that a Fallout game that is online. Like that sounds like a great idea, but I feel like their execution was so bad that it defeats what they were trying to do.
It's just a beta though. Companies usually learn.
No, but the full game is already out. It's been out for a week.
Oh shit!
Wait, the game is out?
It came out on November 12th.
Yikes!
Like that's the major issue. Like you released a game that just wasn't ready at all, like not even close to ready. I don't mind when companies delay a game. Like we all should understand that like a game of that much size takes a long time to make. But it's so like honestly, we have to understand as consumers that we should let a game take its time to release when it's in such a bad position like that one was. When every time that somebody says like, oh, Red Dead Redemption 2 was delayed again, it's like, cool. It's gonna be a gigantic game that everybody's gonna love. Yeah, I don't mind the wait.
When the game comes out, it's like, yeah, this was worth the wait, you know, instead of just like trying to push something out just to have it out.
Yeah, like does anybody what was this one game that like sat through the Duke Nukem Forever? This game got delayed a million times. It was a shit game when it came out. And this is basic. I feel like they were afraid of something like that happening, where they just didn't want to.
No Man's Sky was the same thing too.
Oh yeah, No Man's Sky was another game like that.
Yep.
But No Man's Sky also got better over the years. Like I heard now that game is really, really good.
Yeah, and they released a lot of DLC that was free too, which helped it out.
Yeah, like it's interesting to see like I feel like they were afraid of delaying the game so that they can like make it actually good, because in the state that game is right now, it's just like what I don't see any point in playing it. I was
the game?
No, I was super excited to get it. That was one of the main games I wanted this year. And then when I saw gameplay for it, I saw reviews of them talking about it. It's like it there's nothing there, and way too many like bugs. Like everybody knows Bethesda's a company that like their games is just riddled with bugs. It's like I'm not gonna pay $60 for a game that has nothing to offer in comparison to what's out right now. Like basically any game that is similar to it in a sense is way better way better than it. Like even take games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a great game, even though everybody says it's like it's a great game in terms like there's a bunch of shit to do, even if it's like really small minimalistic things. Like
cutter from the last one.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the Assassin's Creed in general has improved ever since they decided to start doing like release every 2 years, so they don't have to like work on it immediately.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Felix?
I don't have much thoughts on Fallout 4, but when I first about it, I was excited, and going through all the backlash that they've gotten, it's like pushed me away from wanting to get it because as you know, I really like games that have that aspect where you can do shit with your friends online.
Yeah, yeah.
But the fact that it's getting so much backlash and stuff just it makes me wane away from wanting to get it, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm
And
like
it's
Rob.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate because a lot of companies are just falling into that trap of we set a release date, we have to push it at that release date no matter what. Um, but in all honesty, it's a money thing. So try to get as much money right away instead of perfecting the product and making more money down the line. You know, it just sucks that they do that because it leaves a sour taste in the consumer's mouth.
I think I think the bigger problem here is just these big companies they're getting away with releasing unfinished games,
Yep.
and the consumers are becoming complacent. It's like we're not happy, but we are okay with it. You know what I mean? But I don't want to get
Yeah.
too far into that point because that's kind of the point I want to bring up later. Um, but yeah, on only online, no NPCs. Wasn't a fan when they announced it. I am a big fan of Fallout. I played Fallout 3 and Fallout. I don't think I played Fallout 4. Oh, I did
I
play Fallout 4.
I'm a really big fan of Fallout. Like I've played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. I like played a little bit of Fallout 2, but I was like too young to actually like get into that one.
Yeah, I really
But
enjoyed Fallout 3. That was
those like by far like Fallouts are my like some of my favorite games of just like in general. So I was really disappointed that this is what they came up with. Because like I'm not a fan of like even though like yes Skyrim and all that shit like those games are really good. I was never really a fan of like the whole like going back going back to the past and playing with swords and shit. Like I wasn't really into that. But Fallout really did it for me. So when they release a piece of shit like they did now, it's like okay.
yeah. Maybe like the patches will get better over time though, like kind of like No Man's Sky or whatever. It's No Man's Sky, right?
Pretty much the only hope they have right now, to be honest.
If they like just release free DLC for it to just make it a bit more complex. But on paper,
Dude, they really
doesn't seem like it'll work. I don't know how the game experience is because I don't have it. But on paper, it
they
doesn't seem to, doesn't catch my eye. Not gonna lie.
they
And I mean,
already
then again,
released
I'm also
what they're working. So they're
just say
working
one
on
last
DLC.
point. One last point. Hold on.
All right, sorry.
I'm not a fan of single player games, right? So I'm a bias. I say I'm a big fan of Fallout, but then again, I don't play it that much. When I did play, I enjoyed it. It's an enjoyable single player game, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm not that in depth with single player games.
No, that makes a lot of sense. What I will say is, oh, okay. What I will say is that they already released what they're working on. Like they like showed that they're trying to release DLC down the line, and it's just like I feel like that's such a bad business move on their part. Like showing what cars they have under the table, especially when it comes to DLC, because if you have such an unfinished game at the moment, you should really work on the bugs and all the major problems that the game has currently, than showing what you're working on and what you're going to release. Like think about it this way. There's a bug from Fallout. Okay, so the main thing that you should also know is that Fallout 4 is basically inside of Fallout 76. It's a bigger map, but a lot of Fallout 4 is already in the game. So put this in perspective. There's a bug, a long-term bug that was from Fallout 4 that Bethesda was aware of that had been in the game for 2 years. That's also in Fallout 76 now because they're using the same exact thing.
Yeah, they use the same engine. But that's
Yeah, like
I don't think that's
it's
that big of a
ridiculous.
problem though.
That no, it's
It's a
pretty bad.
it's probably not as optimized, but there's games who've been having the same engine for a really long time, like GTA, for example.
Yeah, but the issue is like they know how to work their engine so that it doesn't do all these same issues that they're dealing with. Like if you play a game like Grand Theft Auto, there's you barely notice any like really bad things happening to you, right? Like it
Yeah,
barely
it's like
happens.
well optimized.
Yeah. But then you play a game like Fallout, the amount of times that you will like have the head glitch happen where like you shoot somebody and their head just flies off and then you just see a really weird line following the head is like it's really too damn high. And then there's the power armor glitch where it extends your body model and you look like a freak. Like
You
there's
have
way too
some-
much stuff.
It seems like you have some personal issues with had some bad experiences with Fallout, but it's
Nah,
understandable.
I love the game. It's just
Understandable, yeah.
no, it's just like I'm a harsh reviewer of their games because I love their games.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah, you're disappointed and whatnot. You should get top notch. But yeah, you know that's expected.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that. I can respect that.
Do we have any final thoughts? Before
Only
I move
time
on?
will tell if they get better. You know.
I would get okay. So I'd put Fallout 76 in the category where if 3 of my friends got it, I'll get it, but I'm not gonna be the first one to buy it. You know,
Yeah.
one of those things. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to rate it because I haven't seen gameplay or I've just like read up on it, but I haven't really seen the amount of gameplay.
Let's find out who drops 60 first.
So
For
I'll just leave it at
for
that.
me, I want to get it some point down the line, but the only way I'll ever get it is if they patch the game, they fix it, and then it also goes on sale. And not like some like $45 sale. Like put it if it ever goes down to $30, I'll get it. But
Even with
other
the
than
glitches
that,
and all that.
no, I'm saying like they first have to patch the game, fix it.
They
But
released
then
a
also
54 GB patch day one.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. It still didn't fix anything. It was great.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
The game itself is 45 gigs.
yeah, the patch
that's
is
insane.
bigger than the actual game.
That's insane. It's like, oh yeah, we forgot to put half the game in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's crazy. Like, how does that make sense? And you know, it's funny. They did the same shit for Fallout 4. It wasn't that big of a patch, but they released like a 30 gigabyte patch within the first week of the game's release.
All right, what are your
A
final
lot of these
thoughts on it?
companies are getting away with that bullshit too, though, which sucks.
But yeah, I would get the game if they fix everything and then also put it on sale. That's basically it. That's my opinion.
Felix?
I would only get it if get a group of friends to get it because I'm a big fan of multiplayer, online friend modes and shit.
Yeah, and they have the building aspect to it. So it's cool, but Minecraft did it better.
Oh wait, I forgot to mention something. So funny thing about the building thing, right? So you can build in the game, right?
yeah.
But if you leave your game, you lose everything that you built. It doesn't stay on the map. You have to rebuild it.
Wait, what? I thought the whole
Yeah.
I thought the whole like thing they advertised that you can build your own base and
No,
like,
no,
they
no,
can
no,
get
no,
raided
no.
and stuff.
No. That happens until you leave the game.
It's so weird. The hell? That's so weird.
Yep.
Wow.
It's there's a bunch of stuff that's in that game that just makes no sense.
Huh, interesting.
That's really unfortunate.
All right. Boom, baby. Next topic. You have one more thing you want to talk about?
Thoughts on the end of the season for league?
So we'll make this one a little shorter than normal. Actually, we'll just let it slide because we talked about this last week. But end of the season, bat. I enjoyed it. It was awesome. I dropped from Diamond, tried getting to Diamond, couldn't get there. Cool, whatever. Stayed in Plat 5. I know what I did wrong this season though. I played. Not that I played too much League, but I played too much Ranked. So like even when I was tilted or when I just wanted to have fun, I played ranked instead of just playing normals.
To win.
Exactly. That's where I
Yeah.
fucked up. Next season, catch me on the master ranking, bro. I'm gonna be there. D4, no, D3 minimum next season. You heard it here first, boys.
Okay. So I was Diamond 3.
Places
100
iron.
I was Diamond 3 100 LP at my peak. I was trying to make it all the way to Master Tier before the end of the season. I ended up taking about a month break from League, came back, started playing ranked right away, dropped to D5, and then I ended up finishing Diamond 4. I was really like upset about that. But for the end of the season, I think that this season has been definitely the worst season when it comes to playing champions that you would normally not see being played, like the meta picks kind of thing like that.
Like Victor Top.
Yeah, like Victor Top was like something really like obscure that happened because of how he worked against the meta picks. Like let's actually just go right into it. So mid lane and jungle was by far the strongest row in the game this season. There was like no contest to it. For
Yeah.
mid lane, there was 4 champions. 4 champions out of about 40 champions that can be played mid lane. There was only 4 champions that were just by far the best. Like nobody could touch them. It was LeBlanc, Akali, Irelia, and Aatrox. They were completely unstoppable if they were
About
like
solo
given,
queue, right?
yeah, for solo queue.
Yep.
Once you reach to like my elo and like higher than that, those champions, if you did not pick those champions or Lissandra, because Lissandra was like the strongest counter versus those champions, you would auto lose the game. There was no chance of winning that game if you did not pick those champions. There was games where I would pick Akali into a Xerath and just completely stomp him, and he could do absolutely nothing about it. And I think that's really unfair in terms of the user experience, because it's
so you
like,
feel like
okay,
it's more champion based versus skill based.
yeah, it was like, hey, if you pick this champion, you're gonna win the game,
Like you have a
and
higher
that's
chance of
just
winning.
not.
I can
yeah.
see that. I can see that this season. Yeah, definitely a thing.
It was just like the best example that I see is it's because the champions were way too oppressive. So have you ever played Aatrox into any mid lane matchup?
Yeah, we just one shots all of them.
Yeah, he just straight up kills them. I was playing against Aatrox a lot of the time throughout the season, and I did not understand where his damage came from, because it was
That
just
Q, nigga.
No, yeah, but
Eesh.
why is his Q why was his Q why was his Q so strong at so many points in the game?
I think so. I see what you mean. I'll let Felix. Felix, you have let you speak before.
I'll just repeat what I said last week. The beginning of the season, it was really rough. Actually, it wasn't that rough. It was more towards the middle of the season. It was
Yeah.
kind of iffy, and I kind of just stopped playing League, and I picked it up again towards the end. I found it to be a lot more enjoyable towards the end. Even Worlds was a lot more hyped. You got to see a lot more flashy plays and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to past Worlds where it was just like a farm game and just playing it safe nonstop.
Yeah.
And overall, I just had overall fun time with League. I didn't play as much ranked. I only played in the beginning. I placed, and then I just stopped playing rank altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Even playing normals, even 5s with friends was a lot more fun because the changes that they made, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm excited towards next season. Next season they are opening the gates to a lot more versatility, or so they say. So
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
like that. Back to Amonar's point about the whole champion thing.
Quickly, I just want to quickly say, next season, if I'm allowed the time, Challenger, I'm going for Challenger. If I have the time for it, I'm going for Challenger.
Yeah, I'm gonna go D3 minimum for me. D3 minimum goals obviously Challenger or Master Tier. Yeah, I can do it. Nah, no joke, no. No
I
troll,
like the hype, man.
no troll. I think I can do it. I've gone against D1s before and shit on them. I think I can do it. I just gotta have the right mindset.
I like the hype, man.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the whole champion thing. All right, so this is we actually didn't talk about this last week, but it's gotten to the point in where there's so much information about League that it has to a certain, obviously to a certain level, like from bronze to low plat, the champions you pick make a big difference. And then I feel like in diamond, actually, add low plat to middle high diamond, you can kind of get away from just outskilling people because you get those players who could potentially get to challenger, who understand the game in the challenger level, but they don't give a fuck about the meta, so they kind of can get away with a lot.
That's where one tricks come from.
Yeah, exactly. And then after that, obviously, when you're in challenger, if you're not playing the meta, you're gonna lose because that's just how it works. Yes, there's those one trick challengers who, like, there's still solo queue picks that you could win off of, like a Yasuo. Like a really good Yasuo can always win a game, but that's nitpicking champs that are just made to solo carry that are very hard. But a lot of the games I've played have become like stagnant. It feels weird. Like you feel like you can't outscale someone because of the champion they picked. And I know there's been a lot more champions that are meta now. Like in Worlds, they only didn't use 2 champs, and everyone's picking whatever the fuck they want. But for the majority of the people that play, they stick to the meta usually. Like anyone can pick whatever, but usually you're sticking to the meta. Like you're watching those YouTube videos to see who's the top, who's gonna get you the free LP. And I just feel like it's gotten so textbook in solo queue now that it's not as enjoyable as it used to be. Like when I got to Diamond, I was playing Garen mid, I was playing Ziggs bot. I guess that was Ziggs bot was kind of meta, but I was playing Garen mid, I was playing Teemo mid. Like I was doing whatever I wanted just because I understood the matchups. Like
the meta.
It's like, oh, they're playing Riven. I have this side app that literally tells me I can't beat you early game, so I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try and outplay you. I'm just gonna wait for we'll say here 27 minutes for a 2.5 item spike, and then I can kill you instantly. It's like, come on.
The meta changed heavily throughout the season, and it like.
Manuel, la estufa está prendida y tengo 2 velones prendidos para los malos olores.
Okay. Yeah, the meta definitely changed heavily throughout the patch. I don't know if you know about it that much, but like the patch that really decided the meta was patch 8.11. If you heard about it, that was basically the patch that like destroyed ADCs completely.
Oh yeah,
with the Infinity Edge change.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that patch. I used to main ADC, and I switched from ADC to other roles.
Yeah, the moment that patch hit, ADCs didn't exist anymore. It was basically like remember that means like ADCs in 2017 low.
Yeah.
That's literally what they became, but it was worse than that. So it was pretty.
When they became like irrelevant, like straight up irrelevant, I didn't like that. But now in the state that they are, yes, they're not the most important role, but I kind of like that because it changed up the pace. Don't get me wrong. I love when ADCs are the most important pick because that's the tank meta, and I'm a huge fan of the tank meta. I'm not gonna lie. I hate tanks, but I like the tank meta. I like how the team has to really work together to win. Right now, people like kind of don't want to work together because you can still win without working together, but then just becomes toxic and people just start arguing and stuff like that.
Dice que él recibió el mensaje que le mandaste que no te preocupes la semana, que todo está bien.
Is there an echo?
No, it's all good.
All right, good.
Sorry, you already heard what I was doing. Can you repeat the last little bit that you said?
That I like when ADCs are meta because it's the tank meta, and I enjoy the tank meta. A lot of people hate the tank meta, but I like those 40-minute games.
I fucking
where
hate
it goes
that
down
shit.
to an intense team fight, and like you got a nasty support peeling, you got the tank CCing, the ADCs popping off. I kind of like that meta.
You have a full tank Maokai who does
meta,
most damage in game. That shit fucking.
That meta is like the meta that's worst for me, honestly, because I mean, when you think about it, what is an ADC at 40 minutes? It's basically a ranged assassin.
Yeah.
And for me, who who mains assassins and then also plays like mages and things like that, like you auto me 3 times and I die, and like it's kind of unfair to an extent because I don't have the range to deal with you.
Yeah, nah, I get
Assassins
that.
usually have a kit to get to you though, so
But when it's tank meta, tanks are dealing more damage than assassins, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. We're actually. I feel like going to the new season. I'm actually super excited for the new season because basically what they're doing is that they're bringing rooms back.
Yep. That's it. Well, we talked about that last podcast. Hella hyped for that, and you
it's
can
gonna be-
finally actually pick a defensive character and not
Yeah, so
feel
you
like you
can-
need to be aggressive all the time.
The main thing that I really like is like, so since they're bringing old runes back where you can select how much AD, armor, MR that you want, right? They're also removing the other stat where like if you pick this rune, this
get
like
this
this
stat.
this mastery page, you get this stat.
Yeah.
I hated that so much because you would always get stats that you didn't want. Like if I'm playing Zed and I pick precision, why do I want the attack speed? I don't need that.
Yeah. That was a big problem.
Because like there's like the reason why you would ever pick I'm just gonna give the example. If you ever pick Zed, the reason why you want some attack speed is for his passive, for the passive auto, so you can do the percent health damage. Basically, other than that, there's no reason. So that's why Zeds would sometimes go alacrity. Other than that, you don't need any more attack speed. Why am I being forced to be taking
Like
9% attack speed?
Yeah, it's like 9%. It's like, okay.
It's like there was no real reason behind that. What I also like is that they're trying to move away from sustain and also removing some damage from the game. So they're changing celerity. So they're removing the damage that it gives based on your movement speed and changing it to that if you have a movement speed, like if you have a movement speed ability in your like item like Yomu's Ghostblade, it gets increased by 8%. So you move faster. So I'm guessing what it'll be like, there'll be less damage, but there'll be more potential for roaming dives because exactly. Like it'll be a really good item on Hecarim because he's a champion that can abuse things like that. But that's something that I really like because even though some champions get buffed, the damage overall gets nerfed. Because I had the strong belief throughout the entire season that damage was way too damn high.
It was.
Like for example, Irelia, disgusting champion, by the way. Hate that champion. She was tanky.
Got that booty twang though.
She was tanky, had sustain, and had the damage of an assassin. Like that was
fuck that champ. I mean, she's fun. Don't get me wrong, she's a fun champion. But goddamn, Riot could have done that a lot better.
And like it's weird because the champion is actually really, really fun to play.
No, she is.
And she had Aatrox as well. He's tanky, has sustain, but also does a fuck ton of damage.
That motherfucker does way too much goddamn damage. Like that shit is just no joke. He just insta kills people straight up.
Yeah. Every time Irelia comes up, I think about that lady at PAX that was part of the Irelia team. That she would speak with like moistness in her.
Yeah, a sticky mouth.
She had like a sticky mouth. Yeah. So she'd always make like a clicky, licky sound. Oh man.
But yeah, it's like I feel like it's a very good change that they're doing since there's gonna be armor and magic resist in the game. It'll nerf champions like Aatrox and Irelia because armor and magic resist naturally counters those champions.
Yeah.
And also since they're taking out some of the damage, especially I don't know if you would know about it, but the Shield Bash rune that's coming out, minor rune.
Yep.
That one is really nice. It's gonna be giving extra. It's gonna give damage based on if you have a shield or not. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that's like a small buff to Yasuo. I'm kind of excited for that.
I know. So the reason why I'm excited with the rune page, it's because there were champs that don't do a lot of damage early game, right? But they kind of scale. Let's say, for example, Rumble. Say you pick Rumble into a Riven in Season 3. You know? Oh, okay. I'm going to go AP and I'm going to stack a little more armor than usual because I do have a bad laning phase and I don't want to die to her. But with this rune pick, like the current system, it's like, oh, Riven, no, I just straight up just can't pick Rumble, or else I'll just lose because I have no armor. It's like,
Yep.
it's like hella feels bad. It's like you kind of can't
Yeah.
counterplay it. So with this new rune system, you can be like, bet I want to play Rumble, and now I can get armor. Hey, matter of fact, I'll get some AP too, and maybe a little bit of health on the side. Nuts.
Actually, the main thing that I'm actually worried about this is that, okay, now that they're adding armor and magic resist back into the game, I really hope that they don't remove the armor and magic resist that they gave to every champion in the game.
Yeah, because I remember
of them removing it.
they kind of changed the stats a little bit because of that. They gave people a
Yeah,
little more AD here and there, a little more armor, magic resist. I know.
Yeah,
Get
I really hope they don't remove it.
is it Braum? This dude starts with like 40 armor or something crazy.
Yeah, but in the long run, I think that it'd be better that they leave it on,
Yeah.
because if you're essentially being counterproductive. If you want to make champions die, like make people not die as fast, there's no point in removing the armor and magic resist that you gave to them, and then also adding armor and magic resist to be pickable.
Yeah, no, they definitely should keep it because like the other side of the coin with the Rumble matchup, the Riv is gonna be like, oh shit, it's a Rumble. He's kind of probably gonna build a little bit more defensive. Let me stack more AD, maybe get early armor pen, But she doesn't have those
Yeah.
base stats up. She's just gonna be a wet noodle, and then
Yeah.
it's gonna take kind of her class out. Those Irelias, those Aatroxes that really want to dominate you early. So I think they should still keep that.
I think, I don't know. I think that those champions like Riven is actually insanely broken right now, if you didn't know. But champions like Riven, Irelia, like those champions, they do need the well-deserved nerf. But I don't think that they need a number change exactly. I think
They
that
need
they
something
just needed.
though. I get what you mean. Because like Yasuo is that dude can carry any goddamn game, but
he gets
you
good
have
enough,
to be
yeah.
good with him. Irelia,
Yep.
you feel like you
No,
don't
no,
need
no,
to be
no.
that good with Irelia.
You don't have to be good. You
carry.
have to be fucking nasty.
Yeah, like he has that high skill cap. Like Irelia has a high skill cap, but she's also easy. Not
Yeah.
easy per se. Obviously, she's not easy, but to the amount of games that Irelia carries, it's just like
Compared
like
to what
average
she does, yeah.
players that just carrying games with Irelia. It's like, nah, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to find a way to balance it. So like the people who pick the Vaynes out there, the Yasuos, the Zeds, these champs are hard to play. They're hard to carry. Sorry, they're hard to carry with, but it is possible if you're good enough.
Yeah.
Riven, like
So there definitely needs.
champs are too easy. And
See, and the thing is that like Irelia,
easy is a
Irelia
bad
was
word. Easy is a
made-
bad word.
Irelia was such a weird champion for me when she came out, because like we were just coming out of a meta where shields were still strong when Irelia came out,
Yeah, they forced it.
and
with
then
her
they were
passive.
like, oh, so we're gonna make this champion that hard counters shields.
And then
What?
insta kills squishies already.
Yeah, I'm
It's like what? What she can do
Why?
everything.
Like what was the point of that? And then on top of that, they gave Irelia W, basically Galio's W, in the sense that it gives % damage reduction, but it's flat. Like
Yeah, and
Galio's
it can't
damage
be
reduction
interrupted.
scales can't be interrupted. It not only does it scale. Okay, wait, my bad. So Irelia's W,
We're just talking
It's
about
a-
League
it's
today,
a-
huh?
it's a 1-point wonder skill, right? That starts at 50%. So you don't even need to upgrade it at all. You just max E after that.
Yeah.
Think of Galio's. Okay, yes, it does damage and everything, but it also starts at like 20% and scales with his AP. So it takes forever for it to actually be really, really good, like to the point that Irelia's is at.
I want to go on record and say fuck Galio. I hate that champ. Yeah, that champ's also toxic.
I don't think that champion's toxic, but that's another
That's
story.
because you main him, you bitch.
No, well, yeah, I do main him, but I don't think he's. I don't
He's
think
a
that
toxic
disgusting.
champ, bro. I don't want to get into it.
How is he this? Okay, no,
Let's
I
not
think
get
we're
into it.
having
Let's not
podcast
get
right
into
now.
it. We got 3 minutes left for this segment, so let's get into it.
Okay. But yeah, I think they just need to. Hopefully, they actually like take a lot of risks during this preseason, since it'll be 2 months and a half, and like just start. Like I actually really would like if they just patch the game like constantly during this 2 months and a half.
That'd be
Because I
perfect
want
for the
to see
offseason.
I want to see how much shit they can bring into the game and like see if they can actually like work on the things that are wrong. Also, there's a really funny change that's coming to the game that I'm hella excited to see when it comes in. They're changing teleport.
Yeah.
So teleport
Yeah, I mentioned that this morning.
it's gonna be a committed. It's gonna be a commit. So
No
if you press
pumping.
teleport, you can never cancel it. That's gonna be super funny if people are trying to teleport and then you just kill them while they're teleporting
Or
because
they
they can't
teleport
even
late in a
cancel
team
it.
fight,
Yeah.
and their team loses completely. So
And
it's
they're just like,
becomes
well, this is awkward.
See, like either they teleport, so it's a full commit. So it's actually a pretty big nerf to teleport because obviously you can't fake it anymore. But on top of that, you need to know where and when to teleport because
You know what that's gonna do,
once
though?
you go, you go.
You know what that might do? That might just
What?
remove teleport from the game. Not remove it from the game, but people will be
From
like,
the meta.
well, might as well just from the meta. Like, might as well just go ignite and try and get a lead and split push.
Nah, Ignite needs to get nerfed. Ignite needs to get nerfed.
Ignite
It's way
is
too
mad strong. Oh, but I like
Ignite
it.
is
I
way
like it
strong.
like that. I actually think that's one thing that shouldn't get nerfed.
It's either one of two things. Either Exhaust needs to get buffed, or Ignite needs to get nerfed.
I think they should leave Ignite as it is, and I don't think they should change Exhaust because
Exhaust is really weak.
it.
That's the whole
it
reason why
is,
supports
but
take Ignite now.
If it gets stronger, then assassins
but
and
isn't-
ADCs are gonna disappear from the game.
It does. The thing is that they just need a slight buff. Like it's not anything crazy. Like they need to make it so that people can see the versatility in Exhaust, because Exhaust isn't being used at all anymore.
I kind of like that it's not being used, TH. Because Exhaust used to literally eliminate you from the fight for what was it, 4 seconds?
Dude, you engage and you just sit there, mad awkward, like a sitting duck.
Yeah, you don't do any damage during that time.
No. All right. Final
Next
thoughts.
All right.
Final thoughts. Got 1 minute left. Fuck Irelia.
Fuck Galio.
Fuck Galio.
Um,
Patch preseason a lot. Looking forward to next season.
Not fuck Galio. Fuck Irelia. I actually like Aatrox a lot. I think he's really fun, but his
Nah, that
damage
Chep's
needs to get
mad
nerfed.
fun, bro. The Chep's 10 out of 10.
I really hope that they just patch the living shit out of preseason. Like I would love that.
Same.
If they did it, I'd be so happy.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
Felix?
Overall, I think it was a good season. Just not a fan of how it ended.
No, I mean everything I wanted to say I already said last week. So.
Yeah,
Wait,
no.
my bad. Last thing, NA making it to semifinals, great thing for like the NA region in general. I think it's gonna bring a lot more people to actually play the game again.
All right. That was League. So the last topic. This is gonna be salty. This is gonna be salting. It's gonna be a lot of bitching, but this is needed. People need to know this. People need to change. Companies are getting away with releasing full games. Releasing games,
That
and
are
they
half
feel
finished.
like fucking alphas and betas, and like it's getting under my skin. It's getting under my skin because I bought a game recently. Blackout. I bought Black Ops just for Blackout, and I know it's a Call of Duty game, and I know I was gonna be salty, but I got it anyways because the Blackout looked fun, and the Blackout was fun. But when you have the fucking textures don't even load in the game sometimes, and it's like, why is this game so buggy? Why are servers 20 hertz? Why does Fallout 76 is so shit? Why does every Assassin's Creed have such a shit like storyline? Like there's no depth to the games. It's tilting me, and this is why I like League so much, because it's very complex. But these games, the companies need to step it up. Mario has a good
I'm gonna look
So-
for a.
The very first thing that I want to talk about in terms of that is Blackout.
Here. Grab a chair. I don't have a chair.
Wait, so-
Hold on.
Who the fuck is that?
I'll just leave it. I thought I was saying like just come on to Discord.
What the fuck is he doing there?
What is-
So it just shows up. It's actually mad disrespectful.
He said, "Yo, I can't get on stream because I'm gonna show up IRL."
Wow. Trying to do that shit last week too.
Discord.
Who you left that with?
Like,
Dude forced himself in the talk.
all right, we got a special guest. Man for the other showed up to my house.
All right. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
over here as fuck. They
All
got
right.
to rush.
So the very first thing that I want to talk about in terms of like Blackout was like, okay, we paid for a $60 game, $60 fucking dollars, a AAA title that has a battle royale, zombies that not many people even like playing anymore. And what was the other thing that it had? Multiplayer. The multiplayer fucking sucks.
Multiplayer was shit.
There's only like multiplayer was shit, and no, like they tried their best. They really did it. Like I've been watching a bunch of shit for it. It's just not that fun anymore. It's not that fun because there's only like 2 guns in the game that are actually good.
Yeah.
That being said, there's no single player at all. They actually, there was like a whole video that was released that showed that there was supposed to be a single player, but then they just like scrapped it completely and went with the no single player thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was the dumbest thing they could have done. I paid
not really, though.
I paid $60 for a game that I wanted to play with friends, and I just don't enjoy it all that much because every fucking time that I play the game, my frames dip 24/7. For some reason, my aim is just not there at all, even though like it says that I am, but I'm lagging 24/7 for some reason.
20 hertz refresh rate.
Yeah, it's just like why?
Yo, Felix.
Like I just want to understand why.
What's
up?
your opinion?
I was gonna say that I saw a post on Reddit that it was essentially a screenshot of a company replying to someone on Twitter, and it basically sums up to them saying that the reason why they do it or get away with it is because like the community just they still fall into it,
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things as a community, as a gaming community, the people have to change, you know. Like I don't know if you remember, but that whole Battlefront issue,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the huge backlash they had before the game even came out,
Yeah.
that forced them to change the way that system worked. That's what people need to start doing, and you know, for games like this. But the problem with that is that, like Blackout, they didn't release any of the info about the store until it was too late to return the game.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that companies are doing now. They're being shady and not releasing much info on things like that. So you don't know if the rewards are worth it or not. You know, it's just like you buy a battle pass, but you don't know if the battle pass is worth it until afterwards. So you can't get a refund on it. Which, by the way, the battle pass for COD is fucking shit because common skins and legendary skins look the same.
That and the game is shit. Like they have the sprays, they have the emotes, but like that shit is so goddamn glitchy. It does like you can't even enjoy it.
Yeah, it doesn't work well for Call of Duty, like in Fortnite. Like it's terrible in my opinion.
What about you, Fida? What do you think?
This is Call of Duty.
The new one.
Games in general with how they
Well, so the
get
topic
away
was
with a lot of
basically
shit
that
release.
players, like the community, us, we're becoming complacent with the fact that companies aren't releasing finished games.
Oh,
And-
I got one for you.
And they're getting away with it because of us.
I got a take for you. The community is pretty much eating itself because
Yeah.
people demand content at a yearly rate, but obviously to make something that high of quality is not going to take a year. Or in some cases, I think Treyarch and Activision, they take 2 years to make a game, so they trade off.
Yeah.
But even then, 2 years isn't enough time. So let's say Call of Duty didn't pump out a game come, what is it, November at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking community would be so aggy that they wouldn't even get a game out in general, that they wouldn't understand that they're possibly making a better quality game with more content, but instead companies get away with just shipping out a game at like 60%, 70%, and then selling the rest later.
Exactly.
And it works in their favor
It does. I mean,
because people end up buying the DLC anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It goes back to us buying the games. Like, I shouldn't have gotten Blackout. No matter how fun it looked, I shouldn't have gotten it because I know it's Treyarch. Wait, who did it? Was it Activision or Treyarch that did this one?
I don't
It
know.
was Treyarch.
I know Treyarch is
Activision is the publisher. They don't
it's
make
like
games.
yeah. Like I know it's just another Call of Duty that they have fast, and yes, it's fun sometimes when it's working, but it's just sad. I have a i8 8700K, a 1080 Ti, and my textures don't load sometimes. It's like, what?
Another issue that
Honestly,
I
I
have,
feel like we fall for it every year.
And we
We really
yeah.
do. We eat it up every year.
It's
I know.
bad. It's bad.
Sorry, I'll just wait until you finish.
No, you go.
Another issue I have is that games are copying models of other games based on their success, but they're not at the same like level, you know, like Call of Duty is a perfect example right now where they have like ultimates and multiplayer, and online they have the fucking battle pass and battle royale shit. Just stick to regular Call of Duty. That's like what people buy you for. What, like if we want to play a game, an FPS with ultimates, we're gonna fucking play Overwatch. You know, if we want to play a battle royale where people dance on you and shit, we fucking play Fortnite. Like we're not. I don't want to do that shit on Call of Duty. Go to Call of Duty, fucking run and gun. You know,
I think the
It's
best
one of the things I don't like about the new Call of Duty is that
Not
like
do
it's
in Twitch.
bullshit.
So, bro.
one of the things that would have done it for Call of Duty, I think they needed to remove. I think Ultimates needed to not be in the game. I think that was just the dumbest thing that they could have done.
They need to stick to their
had
niche.
they just released the game without Ultimates for multiplayer, it would have been so much funner. Like
Yeah.
having somebody run at me with a riot shield where I can't even shoot back
Facts,
at them
that shit's
is
mad
not fun at
annoying.
all.
But let's not get too in detail with Call of Duty. It's more just like companies in general. What do you guys think? What's a good first step to take? Like, what should the company do?
Not
You
even
think
the
would
company.
help?
They need to listen to the fans because even
It's-
issues with Rainbow Six, the community has been raging about huge issues that they've been having. And Rainbow Six, they see the complaints. They just don't do anything. They ignore the people, you know. So on the company side, they have to acknowledge the customers' complaints and shit.
I think one main thing actually is I mean, we had something happen recently, like the whole PUBG campaign that Bluehole was doing, that they were gonna fix all the bugs in the game, and then it got to a point where there was so much things to fix that they just stopped doing it completely. They abandoned the campaign, and now they're campaign on fixing all the bugs, and now they're working on making the game more stable. Quotation marks making the game more stable, but it's just like I feel like the first step is making a stable game that's actually playable.
Like, I
And
got a
stop
take for
making
you.
early access games.
Would you pay $70 for a more polished game, or
Yes.
would you take, or will you keep
Yes.
it where it's at now, 60 with a subpar game?
I would pay more money for a actual good game. Look, this is actually a complaint that I had such a long time ago, and I know that everybody disagrees with me on this point. Why the fuck are we paying $60 for a way better game? Like, for example, Witcher, when it came out with $60, why did we pay $60 for such a great game? But then we also paid $60 for a game from 2011. Like Need for Speed Carbon was a $60 game. Why?
So I'm actually.
I think I think that honestly we're at a point in terms of technology that we should pay more money for a game because
think
it's
I
of
agree
higher
with that.
quality.
No, I do not agree with that because then you'll have EA claiming that they have a really good game for $100, and then the whole thing starts again. I think there should be a standard that all games are released at a certain
but I-
price, because then you start paying unnecessary premiums for what you should have
That's
got.
true.
What
I-
you
It's
should have
it's
gotten
not an
already.
excuse because
You're
there's already
definitely right.
a price model, and there's multiple games that come out exceeding expectations and winning awards. God of War, Spider-Man, like those games are amazing. There's and they're still doing it within the gaming model. It's not like buy a half-assed game at $60 and then you have to download like the rest of the game. You know, it's
Yeah,
BS. It's
but
not
I-
an excuse for a company to. They had more than enough money to make a great game.
They do.
I
They
think
do. It's
the
true.
thing
You
is
can
that you
also
have to
make
also
the
think about
argument that like PlayStation used to sell games at what, $30, I think.
Well, the reason that they got more expensive, I assume, is because they needed basically just more developers to do it.
I feel like
Not
right-
100% sure on that one, but
I feel like we're due for a price increase on video games, though.
Yeah,
Definitely.
no,
It's been at
definitely.
$60 for way too long.
It has, and if it does increase, that's okay. But I don't think companies should be like if GTA, the next GTA 6, let's say, they're like, everyone knows that game's gonna be like godlike, and they're like, this game's $100. Like, get out of here. That game should cost just like every other game.
$100? No, that's too much. I think $80 for a AAA title is fine.
No, you would pay $80 for
Yes.
Call of Duty.
No.
Fuck that,
For
dude.
a
60
actually,
bucks already.
wait. For a actually good game.
No, but
Like,
how do
we're
you know
talking
the
about,
game's good before you buy it, bro? That's the problem.
That
Fallout
that's
76
the
was
hardest,
supposed to be the best game.
that's the
Imagine
hardest.
they sold the
hardest-
pre-orders for
that's the hardest part to conceptualize. Yes,
but
but
that'll give
and
the
I
company
think-
too much power. They already have a
is-
lot of
I
power
think-
over us.
there needs to be more honesty between the consumer and the actual
Yeah.
the producer. But here's the thing. Okay, company developers actually need more money. Like, they need more money to work with so that they can actually make their games. Because yes,
can hire
when
more
we're thinking about how much money like we're actually paying for the games, you have to also think about that most of the money actually goes to the publisher since they're promoting and selling the games, right? We're not actually thinking about how much money is going to the developer because they get a smaller percentage than the actual publisher. So let's take this for example. There was a game that was really, really good that came out a long time ago. It was called Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. That game was by far one of the best games I had ever played in my life. Like, I love that game to death, and I'm so sad that they never continued it. That game, the developer made $12 million, even though the game actually made $100 million. They ran out of business instantly because they couldn't pay back the state that actually granted them the money to make the game.
That's
Like,
that's their business
such-
model. That's
Yeah,
not
but
the
the thing is
fault
that you have
of
to-
the game selling. That's the fault of whoever
They-
was
they
dealing with
made-
their money.
The thing is that they made more than the quota, but the percentage that they made back wasn't enough so that they can actually continue what they were doing. Like, you have to also take into consideration every developer that goes through that. That's not just one developer. That's a lot of developers that experience that same issue.
I think if a community liked that game enough, they would still be in business. Clearly, something
No.
went wrong in the process. Maybe
No,
the marketing
it's
scheme.
not-
Maybe
It's not necessarily that.
I
People
mean, there's
like
a lot that
like,
goes into
people
it,
like
though.
think about it. There's
Like,
people
think-
like to play games that they know. right?
Imagine that game cost $80. They would get even less sales.
Yeah, but that's
No one
through.
knows.
Okay. That's not. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think that it depends on the quality of the game and also how much money you're willing to pay for the developer to actually do something good with the game, because developers obviously don't make enough money to return from their investment.
All right, so back to the question. What do you think is the first step to change this? Got 4 minutes left.
I believe that publishers, not developers, publishers need to be more honest with their consumers. I also think that there needs to be more clarity in terms of what companies are working on, because even though they have like this belief where they need to like be super low key about what they're working on and not show anything until it's done. I think it's always really cool to see that when like a game comes out of nowhere and then it looks really cool, but I don't think that's a good idea anymore. Since we're at games that are like super high quality
What's up,
technically,
bro? What's good,
they
bro?
need to be they need to
Name.
actually show what they're actually working on, because it's not fair when we see a game that we're really excited for and then it's of really low quality after seeing so many good things about it.
All right. Felix?
I just think they need to stop being so fucking greedy and just stick to releasing a complete game and not trying to get more greedy, releasing a half-ass game with the rest of the game as DLC. The DLC is not even cheap too. It's like another fucking $30, $60 you have to pay for. And then they attach some janky ass little figure. Oh, here, this is included. Like, fuck. That shit just gets me tight.
I agree with Felix. So I'm in the point where like I would, because we end up paying. Let's say you end up paying like $30 in DLC anyways. I pay an extra $10 to get a better quality game. That's how I feel these days. I
Yeah,
feel
no,
like
that's cool. Like if the standard went up to $70, bet.
yeah.
But I don't think a company should be able to be like game costs $100 because it's better than all the other ones.
But didn't World of Warcraft
There needs to
also
be
have like
quality.
a high price
No.
point coming in?
I think
It's a subscription base.
I think maybe there needs to be maybe a quality. You know how like sneakers have quality control to make sure that they're of standard.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be quality control for games. That would
Um,
actually be really good.
Yeah, but that goes under the company. That's the company.
No. There's like legit. Okay, I mean, I'm assuming
Reviews?
through like sneakers.
No, there's like a certain quota they have
Sneakers. When they're made, they go through a certain company. Like for every shoe that's made, it goes through a certain like
It's
area
regulated.
that
It's
that
regulated.
is regulated to make
Yeah.
sure that everything is up to standard in terms of everything else. If there was like a place that would test games and make sure that they were like of standard, and because that's technically what the age thing does, right? So like if a game is 12 years plus 18, so on and so forth. If there was something that determined quality of the game,
think
that would be
that's too
really good because
abstract.
then determine well let me just finish the statement that determine quality of the game, there would be a actual good way of pricing the game. Like of course it like early access game either free up to $20. Does that make sense at all?
That's too abstract. No, I don't think that would work with games because you have to understand that these companies are private. If someone wants to release a janky game with bad graphics that has amazing gameplay, like, what's the standard there? You know. But I'm gonna answer. So, Alfred mentions in chat, he's like, to keep WoW servers up, 5 million a month. Keep the WoW servers up, so subscription base is necessary. And yes, that's okay because it's actually a good game. So that's fine. People are willing to pay that, obviously, if there's still so many players. I think, just to like wrap it all up, I think companies should be, I don't want to say transparent because they are their own company and they can do whatever they want. But the community, it all starts with the community. Companies just react to us. Little do we know, we control it. If no one buys the next Call of Duty until something gets changed, they will change it. They look for money. The problem is that we just give them money for anything that they produce. So it really does come back to us. Like, we sit here, we bitch and we moan about all these games, but then I'm out here buying the next Call of Duty.
But yeah,
What's
we
wrong
get
with
baited.
it?
We get baited by it every time.
Yeah, and it really starts with the community, I think.
Oh, Felix
yeah,
got
that's I want to leave that at that because we can rant for days about this. I want to kind of open it to chat if they have any questions, anything you want to know. Speak now.
Yeah, give them a little
damn piece.
Give them a little delay too.
Yeah, like a couple seconds. So I'm gonna review for Fidel because he wasn't here. So first we spoke about Fallout 76. Basically, how the for now.
That came out recently, right?
Yeah, it came out like last week or something.
Mhm.
And then we
Last
spoke
week.
about League again, talking about like the state good shit, and what they should do, what they should not do next season, how we feeling, what do you think you're gonna hit next? Play ranked or not? What
All I do
what rank you gonna go for?
to the top, man. I don't know. I just want to get gold. I just want to get to gold. I got
He's
low
gonna get placed in
expectations,
iron.
man. I made a silver 2 yesterday in Flex.
Yo.
I'm mad proud of that.
Yo, I charge
so
for
proud.
my services.
And then the last topic was just it's like, I really do think it comes back to community, bro. We need to change
There's
as
no,
individuals.
there's no way we can control that,
It's
dude.
true.
Yes,
we're
we
in the
can.
same. We're in
by
the same.
stuff like this.
we're in
Stuff
the
like
same
this.
community.
Awareness.
Yeah, look at what happened to
Awareness.
Battlefront.
We're in the same community as 12-year-olds, dude, that buy strictly on impulse. There's no way. There's no way.
That's true.
No,
you're right.
that is
It's
true.
completely true.
That is true. But we have to spread awareness. 12-year-olds are sponges. We need to teach them what a good game is, what quality is.
'Cause, yeah, we know what quality is because we know better at
Yes,
this point. We have the
that's-
experience.
But that's why
We
we
also
teach
have
them.
we also know like kids like Yandel who's 12 and he's just gonna, if he has the money, he's gonna go and buy the next Call of Duty as soon as it comes out. Just because.
But if he comes onto, he's like, oh wow, this is my favorite streamer, and he's not getting Call of Duty because X, Y, and Z,
Actually,
and they
streamers-
sit there and they're like, wow, that actually makes sense. Like, then the last Call of Duty I got wasn't as fun as the one I got the previous year, and he's like, damn, let me not get this game because it's not worth it.
Something to also think about is that, you know, a lot of kids these days, they're just shown games randomly. So like they see games like Fortnite and want to play it because their friends play it. And then there's also the kids who play games because their parents play games, right?
Yeah.
But then you have the one, like, specifically, I have a friend who started playing games from his dad, and his dad, like, he works a lot, but he likes playing games. So he'll just play whatever game that he's able to get. So for him, any game is good, right?
Yikes.
For us, it's different since we actually enjoy playing good games. So it's kind of hard for other people to determine what's a good game. Sometimes.
I don't think that's I don't think that covers the point, because a good game is an opinion.
Yeah,
But
but
when
then
a
there's people
game,
who think
when if Call of Duty, I'm not saying Call of Duty is a bad game. I'm saying that they
the
didn't
quality of
finish the
needs to be
game. The
fixed.
quality of the game is bad. Blackout is really fun, but when you have a fucking noise glitch and like a sound glitch or the texture thing, like that texture thing
just the
really gets to me.
server-
Like, why
server
isn't
shit.
that
the
fixed?
the something that
That's the
I'll say
problem.
is,
So it's not so much
okay.
about the game being good. Like, so the Call
No,
of
yeah,
Duty
no,
is a
that's
good
what- that's
game
what I'm-
because it sells, but it's just
that's what I'm
it's like an
saying.
alpha, you know? It's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh.
yeah, there's glitches. There's people who will legitimately go back and think that Space Marines was a good game, even though it was riddled with glitches. Like, that was one of the worstly, like, badly finished games of all time. It had glitches all the damn time, and like, if you actually go back and look at videos of that game, you'll be amazed that that game was even allowed to release. But people enjoyed that game because they don't know any better.
oh, that's not true. That's not true.
That's
You're looking
not.
at it wrong.
That's not what.
Fallout 4 has a bunch of glitches. That game is still amazing.
No, they're good games, but they're
Not
not
the glitches
done.
that I'm talking about. It's the poor quality of the games. So Fallout 4
On
has a lot
release.
of
That's what I'm
glitches
saying.
because of the engine, right? The engine that they use. Whatever, they can't change that. But when they release Fallout 76, that legit feels like they put no thought into it. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying, though.
But you're saying that people are calling that game like that's a bad game even though people enjoyed it. False.
No, I'm saying it bad game in terms of how much glitches it had.
I don't think, I don't know.
I don't think it's the same either.
I don't think it's
no.
the same. Like a glitch versus your textures not loading in, that's two completely different things. It's
No,
not
not-
a glitch.
I'm- okay,
That's just a
okay,
coded
okay,
game.
but
They coded
Bugs,
it like that.
I meant bugs. I meant bugs then, like, as in textures don't load in, things happening all wrong all the time. That's what I mean. Like that's what that game was, and it was the same thing as Fallout 76 and same thing as Call of Duty. Things not loading in properly, 24/7, sound glitches, all of that stuff.
Like the 20 gigahertz servers, like that should not have
Yeah.
ever been a problem. They make more than enough money to run those goddamn servers at 60 hertz. No way they're limited to 20. No way. I don't believe it. Fortnite can do it. Fortnite
it was
can
a free
do it,
game.
And
it
Epic
was a free
Games,
game.
it's like that was their biggest game ever. Before that, they had
Gears of War, that was it.
Gears of War. Like, if they can run that game so goddamn smooth, and Activision can't support Call of Duty, they're one of their biggest franchises. Get out of here, bro. That's what you teach kids. Like, that's an unfinished game. That's a bad game. Because they could have made it better. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you never play GTA and you're like, damn, they could have done this. Like, nah, that shit is nasty. It's just, that's it. No matter how many glitches that shit has, it's fundamentally
It's a good game.
Think about going to a restaurant, man. When you order a fucking steak and your mouth is watering for that shit, and they give you a half-eaten steak, like you're gonna get mad.
Yep.
You want the
I mean,
full steak
for
price,
all the
for the
all the
price
thing-
you paid.
for all the things that we say about League, it's a really good game.
I generally think League of Legends is the best game out right now.
And you can't really compare League too, because League is free, you know. So it's
that's
like
true. But I think they like really put, even though some of their changes are shit, they really put a lot of thought into it to make the game complex. You actually have to think about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Got any last thing you want to say, Fidel?
Nah, man. It's a weird situation. I don't like really comment on just because like there's no way to like predict how that's gonna react. So I'ma just keep these like ideas I have to myself and like give it more thought.
Flesh it out in the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about these comments. League is not dead.
Yeah. WoW is dead. League is trash. Fortnite's trash. Felix, last comment. That's it. Chat has no more questions.
Nah, I got nothing, man.
Emmanuel,
We ending it with the rap?
hit it. Ooh, you guys want a freestyle to end it?
End the show with the freestyle. Fidel's here. Give the man a
Nice.
check.
Yo,
right
we
there.
need
Emmanuel,
to-
final thoughts. Hold on. Emmanuel, final thoughts about anything. Yeah, just anything you want to say.
We need to get Michelle Obama to talk about games. So
Oh, Alfred said we gotta get Kanye to talk about it, then people will listen.
nah, we need to get Michelle Obama.
Alright, I don't have anything to say. I really do think it starts with the community. So hopefully the fucking 5 people that watch this when I upload it don't buy unfinished games and complain. They will change eventually. Bet. Fuck all of you. Follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. You know how
You
it
should
be.
try to sell some of these solar panels while you're on this. Closing
Put
out.
that shit away for them.
This is a free commercial. What are you talking about?
Alright, peace out, guys. Follow me on Twitter,
until next week.
YouTube, Google me. You know what it is. Peace.
Peace.
Every Sunday, 12 to 1. Catch me outside.
Add me on League, Yajirobe.
Peace.
Peace.